to either ancient Egypt for either religion or masonry, but to America. It is fact that at Memphis, Egypt, in the pyramids, under the guidance of the kings and the mystic rites of masonry, were worked many thousands of years ago, but at that time, Egypt and the continent of America were one and the same. Number 6. In America, rediscovered in the 15th century and repopulated in the 17th. Do you see that? Rediscovered after Pangea and the catastrophe that you read about in the book of Ezekiel in the 15th century and repopulated in the 17th. That means everything prior to these centuries is made up history. The remnant, those who are controlling governments today, took the history and tried to write themselves in to make it seem like they've always been there. There's a lot we are going to uncover in future videos. Repopulated in the 17th was recovered Egypt and the Promised Land, or the land of the constellation of the eagle. And we know America is represented by the eagle with the flag. This can go deep.
So the smart people say that the Egyptians came over here many years ago and brought over their artifacts and all of that, yada, yada, yada. Even if that is true, okay, cool. Now, may I remind you, before you develop this colonizer program, man, what does Mexico, California, Arizona, and Illinois all have in common? It's all motherfucking connected. They just put lines and colors on it and told you that they were very different and with different people. But before all that shit was going on, this was all Turtle Island. Why you bringing up Turtle Island? Because the pyramids in Mexico are older than the pyramids in Egypt. The pyramids in Mexico are older than the pyramids in Africa. So
Memphis was used as a location where we would fortify, and it was a place that was designed to protect Egypt. You have Egypt is broken up into two parts. You have Lower Egypt and you have Upper Egypt. Okay, so where Memphis, Tennessee is at today over here in America, that's the start of Upper Egypt. All right, basically from Memphis, Tennessee, all the way straight across to the Carolinas, up to New York, all the way back till you get to the Midwest. It cuts off at the Midwest, it cuts off to like Ohio. So basically from Memphis, Tennessee, up to Kentucky, up to Pennsylvania, all the way back up to Boston, all the way back down to Carolina, all the way back over to Memphis, Tennessee, all of that was Upper Egypt. Okay, was Upper Egypt. Okay, Lower Egypt starts with Alabama, and it stretches all the way back to California. Right? You might not know that. So Memphis was used as a location where we would fortify, and it was a place that was designed to protect Egypt. You have Egypt is broken up into two parts. You have Lower Egypt and you have Upper Egypt. Okay, so where Memphis, Tennessee is at today over here in America, that's the start of Upper Egypt. All right, basically from Memphis, Tennessee, all the way straight across to the Carolinas, up to New York, all the way back till you get to the Midwest. It cuts off at the Midwest, it cuts off to like Ohio. So basically from Memphis, Tennessee, up to Kentucky, up to Pennsylvania, all the way back up to Boston, all the way back down to Carolina, all the way back over to Memphis, Tennessee, all of that was Upper Egypt. Okay, was Upper Egypt. Okay, Lower Egypt starts with Alabama, and it stretches all the way back to California. Right? You might not know that.
That bird, that's only indigenous to the Americas. The ancient Egyptian god Horus is from the Americas because you can clearly see that Horus is patterned after the Aplamato falcon.
aha.
Nah, we over here. The ancient Egyptian god Thoth. Thoth?
Damn right.
Yes, Thoth.
Let him cook. I'm gonna let him.
So the ancient Egyptian god Thoth is from the Americas because you can clearly see that Thoth is patterned after the blue ibis. That bird right there is indigenous to South America. Now you got the ancient Egyptian god Khnum is also from the Americas because it's patterned after the bighorn sheep, which is indigenous to North America. The place that you ain't been looking is the Americas.
I tell him all the time.
That's the true old world. Your birthright is right here. You gonna argue with nature?
You know, that's the worst thing you could do is like lie to yourself. Like, you take your medicine, man.
All of these animals are patterned after the so-called Egyptian gods. But the animals are indigenous to the Americas, North, Central, and South, and the Caribbean islands.
The truth is saying the truth.
You see, none of these so-called black leaders or black teachers, they not gonna tell y'all none of this. They not gonna show y'all no receipts on none of this. They don't even get into none of this because once they do, they cap. The guillotine fall. They can't get past none of this information because all these receipts is ancient and modern. That's why they don't tap in. The ancient Egyptian god Thoth, Horus, and Khnum? What else do you need?
Yo, I'm trying to tell people this shit really happened.
So the ancient Egypt, the original one, not the one that we know of today, is actually in America. I know, it's hard for me to wrap my head around this one too. But did you know that there's more pyramids in North America than there are in Egypt? Which is odd, because you would think that if the Egyptians were from modern day Egypt, there should be more pyramids there, not over here. How did they get over here in the first place? Also, look at our dollar bill. It literally has a pyramid on the back of it. And that's the Washington Monument, which look a lot like obelisks over in Egypt. Really, the similarities are Insane. Also, did you know that on April 5th in 1909, there was an article published about the exploration of G.E. Kincaid, which was funded by the Smithsonian. It's where they discovered an enormous cave system in the Grand Canyon while G.E. Kincaid was floating down the Colorado River. And this cave system extended 1,600 meters into the ground. Like, that's massive. And they found Egyptian hieroglyphics. They found tools. They found pottery, they found even mummies in it. They found an entire room full of them. But they won't tell you that because to this day, the Smithsonian is in denial of ever funding such an exploration, and there are claims that G.E. Kincaid never even existed. But that's not even where it stops. Look at this old map of America. It's called Ti Amarikan, and in the Egyptian hieroglyphic dictionary, Ti Amaru, which means people of the land of the Nile flood, aka Egyptians. Ti Amaru, Ti Amari, land of the Egyptians. These are the Cherokee and Pawnee native Moors, which were the original black people in Ti Amari, the land of Egypt. And that leads to believe that the Moors of Ti Amari, the land of Egypt, are the original Israelites and the original children of God.
The original Egypt was here in America.
We now know that advanced ancient civilizations once inhabited North America, but have become lost to our modern memories, in part because of 19th century political and scientific agendas.
When following the course of the constellations, those immovably and perpetually fastened upon America are reached, it will appear that while all that is sublime in the historic past centers upon Egypt, all that is sublime in the prehistoric past centers upon America, Atlantis. And as the curtain which has hitherto concealed a prehistoric connection between the peoples of ancient Egypt and of America is lifted, it will be seen that the people of the eagle on the Nile being descended from the original people of the eagle on this continent. The twain are one in that prehistoric America was the original Egypt or Eagle Land prior to the mighty expansion in the days of Peleg, when the earth was divided and the great globe itself was nearly rent asunder. The original Egypt was here in America. What they think of Egypt as today, but all that is sublime in the prehistoric past centers upon America or Atlantis. Alright?
America is Egypt. This is Wyoming. There's nothing new under the sun. We are them people, the pyramid and mound builders. Also, we build all the star forts.
America is Egypt, and this is the Wyoming Pyramid. We are the American giant Indians. We are the Egyptian giants. We are the original Americans. Let it be known worldwide. America is Egypt, and we are the high trendsetters. I'm Newbie One.
This is the Texas Pyramid. America is Egypt. Let it be known worldwide that we are the American giant Indians.
America is Egypt, and we are the American giant Indians from the ancient world. Let it be known worldwide. This is the Texas Pyramid. How deep down in the ground? Who truly knows? We are the high-tech trendsetters, the advanced civilization of technology, agriculture, and free energy. And yes, we are them people. I'm Newbie One.
They've been finding ancient Egyptian artifacts, landmarks, and architecture all across the Americas. But when you find an Egyptian pyramid off the coast of New Orleans and you name it the Crescent after the Fertile Crescent, and you look at the Gulf of Mexico and it's in the shape of a crescent, it's time to rethink all of history. You see, America is the real ancient Egypt, and it's time to take a look at this. Now watch this video.
An amateur archaeologist says he's discovered the ruins of an ancient civilization off the coast of St. Bernard Parish.
He claims there are large mounds underwater that may have once been the site of a lost city thousands of years ago.
Paul Murphy reports local fishermen have long talked about strange and unexplained things happening in that area.
The Chandeleur Islands are a chain of uninhabited barrier islands located in the Gulf of Mexico, 50 miles east of New Orleans. But 12,000 years ago, before a dramatic sea level rise at the end of the last ice age, this area may have been dry land.
3 different search areas.
Retired architect and amateur archaeologist George Gillet believes the site, now underwater, was once home to an ancient civilization. He dubbed the city Crescentus.
What's down there is hundreds of buildings that are covered with sand and silt and that are geographically related to the Great Pyramid of Giza.
Giza is a city in northern Egypt where ancient pyramids and the Sphinx are located. Gillet claims to have found mysterious mounds of granite under Chandeleur Sound. Granite is not native to Louisiana or Mississippi.
Somebody floated a billion stones down the Mississippi River and then assembled them outside of what would later become New Orleans.
Gillet has spent nearly 50 years studying the site. He produced underwater sonar images of what he claims are remnants of major buildings, including a large pyramid,
which produces an electromagnetic energy that's incredible. And it is apparently 280 feet tall.
St. Bernard Parish shrimper Ricky Robin says he's experienced the energy firsthand. Robin claims the compass on his boat spun completely around near the area where Gillet pinpointed the tip of the pyramid. And that's not all.
Everything will go out on your boat, all your electronics, like if you was in the Bermuda Triangle. See, that's exactly what we got here.
Okay, let's cut through the bullshit. Egypt, 3150 BC. That's 5,150 years old. The Sumerians, or Mesopotamia, is around 6,000 years old. Their civilization. The Nubians, 7,000 BC. That's around 9,000 years old. But guess what's older? Who is this civilization living in Louisiana, Baton Rouge, that was building mounds 11,000 years ago? That predates Mesopotamia. That predates Egypt. That predates ancient China. That even predates the Olmecs. Think about it. We know the truth now.
America, map of ancient pyramid civilizations and prehistoric communities. All right, now if you look at this map, it is a map of modern day America. And look at all the pyramids in America. Just look at it. I'm gonna get into it later.
Oh, hell no. So you telling me Egypt was in America? You're telling me that the promised land wasn't in Egypt? Nah, hold up. And that this map from 500 years ago got this in it? How long y'all been playing? Nah. Y'all got me fucked up right now. The Nile fucking river? We know it was here, not some ancient spot in Africa, but ancient in America. You motherfuckers. This is so-called the Nile River from space, bro. Yeah. They are playing right now. Cause I don't see this drying up no time soon. You feel me? Oh, hell. So you're saying that they the Grand What's going on right here, bro? Like, come on, bro. Make it make sense.
Is Egypt in Africa? No, sweetie. Egypt is in China.
Sweetie, Egypt not in China. Check this out. In Alabama, USA.